Well there on your side? Good. And there's still a few more guys coming online, so I'm just allowing them on, all right? And then we're going to get into it. Good morning, good morning. Well there on your side? All right, just a couple of announcements here before we get started, guys. As always, we are licensed FSP 45262TT. Good to see you there. Petro, good to see you. Mr. H, we are also a licensed over-the-counter derivatives provider. And myself, I'm a registered rep working under supervision as part of the Phase Act to be proper. And then trading room details there, very, very important. We are obviously helping our clients with their trades. We're helping them placing of them. We're also helping, clients to understand the markets in a different way. It's very important for you to grasp, the charts in understanding, because it helps you put your approach together, put your schedule together, understand where you are. And as always, guys, you need to fit in with the structure of the market. You can't create your own structure. You need to work with what is actually given to you. All right. So this morning, we want to just put a lot of emphasis on that once again, is that your approach must fit in with the structure of the market, not the other way around. And remember, the difference between the structure of the market and the movement of the market is totally different. All right. The structure versus the movement. The movement is that there's an uptrend, there's a downtrend, and there is a sideways movement. And then there is a structure in that, which is actually shown on your screen now. So this is the structure. There is an accumulation phase or consolidation or sideways or lamb trend, whatever term you want to use. And so after that accumulation, the structure changes now. All right. And I hope you're making notes if you haven't made it like that. The structure changes now to breakout. That breakout there, guys, will give it a totally different name. Some will say that is the start of an expansion zone. So you are going to term it differently. So it's not so much for us to focus on how you term it. It's for you to identify it. So the structure changes after the accumulation. It now goes to breakout. And then within that breakout, there's another change in structure here where it changes to the movement phase. That means price is now on the run. And so there's guys that are trading the different structure or the structures. Some guys trade the breakout phase, others trade the movement phase, others prefer, all right, to look within the accumulation phase. But I can say this to you with confidence. The guys that are looking to trade the accumulation phase, they don't trade that on a 15-minute frame. They don't trade that on a 5-minute frame, all right? They trade that accumulation phase on the higher time frames. So on a monthly frame, as an example, they will look at that accumulation phase, and then they will actually trade within that in the short or on a shorter time frame basis. That is a very, very important point. I'm going to say it again. You get your market movement. Within that movement, there is structures. These structures is the breakout, the movement, accumulation. If you can identify them, you'll be able to create your own method, your own strategy. All right. And it comes together in its own way. All right. You don't force it. As long as you know how to identify these specific structures, it just makes it easier then for you to put your approach together. All right. If you're ready, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Any questions on that? And you can pose other questions as well. All right. Especially about the technicals, guys, because remember, a lot of guys are confused about the technical side of things. So they can read the news, they can do risk and reward, they know how to look at lot sizes, what is a micro lot, a mini lot, standard lot. So many guys can grasp that quite quickly. It is actually the technical side that loses a lot of people. And so, this specific sessions that I have with you in particular or in specificity is for me to always communicate that I do not represent one type of trader here. All right. I can trade on a 1 minute, just like I can trade on a 15-minute. I can trade on a 1 hour, just like I can trade on a 12-hour, and I can trade on a day, just like I trade on a monthly. I can trade on any time frame. So I'm not subject to a specific strategy, because some people up like that. They totally, oh no, I can see how you trade. No. You should be able to be versatile and flexible. Is everybody clear? It's not a soccer match where you're only a striker or you are only a defender. Are we together? You are a trader. If there's a specific opportunity on a 5-minute frame and it makes sense financially, what's wrong with taking that trade? As long as you understand the risk involved. Is everybody clear there, guys? All right, everybody clear? Let me make sure that everybody's 100% with me. And I think I started that intro off very well then, Mr. H. Yeah? I practiced it in the mirror. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. That is all it just came out. All right. So don't try to figure out strategies. Are we together? You're going to waste your time. Learn to understand the structure, the movement of the market, so you can trade any time frame. So you don't have to spend 25, 30,000 Rand or 5 or 7 or 9,000 Rand on a strategy that you can just, find somewhere else. All right. So let's push now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get into the dollar index, but let me quickly welcome all my newbies here this morning. If that's you, if you're a little bit shy, you can just pop me a direct message. If you're not shy and you want to just mention it so everyone can see it, that would be great. I want to welcome you, and I want to make sure that everybody welcomes you as well. To all my regulars, the guys that have been with me, Chris, it's good to see you there, Christian. Wow, Ari, it's good to see you there. Mika, I say Lundo, I'll just say Lundo. Right, Lundo, that's all I'm going to say. Just forgive me, man. All right, there's Mr. H, Cheryl, Clint is there. Mr. H. Petro, TT's there, Felix is there, Uncle Sean is there, Robert Tebo. People pay, yes, Uncle Sean, people pay for strategies, man. Yes, that is an absolute reality. Like people pay for dishwasher, they pay for strategies. All right. Welcome to everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me here this morning, guys. We want to push. And then obviously, if you've just been with me for 2 days or so, you're still fairly new, please pay attention to the words. All right, let's all welcome Uncle Sean there. He's brand new. Let's all welcome Uncle Sean, he's brand new. All right, it's good to have you guys. Please, let's just welcome Uncle Sean. Please, will be great. TT, I see you in uniform today. TT, I see you in uniform today. All right, you're on my radar. You're on my radar. I'm gonna. All right, I'm feeling a bit teasy this morning. A bit teasy, yeah. So we're gonna see how it goes. All right, let's get this started, guys. What's also important, Saturday, guys, no classes. No classes Saturday. If you bought the course with Stock Market College, we are having our India function. So there will be no classes at all. Notifications will be going out. They've already gone out. In fact, I'm right there, Clinton, it has. And they will continue to go out. And then tomorrow morning, Roger will be with you. I have other tasks to do in the morning, which does not allow me to be around for the early bird morning session. So Roger will be with you tomorrow morning to conduct the Friday early bird session, but then I will be with you on Monday and on Tuesday. Just a couple of notifications for you to remember. All right. It's good to laugh and make money. Yes, you should invite us in your Felix. I'm gonna put that on Clinton there. He'll tell you. I don't know. Gerard, it was just DX feed or data feed. It happens, across the world. Many brokers, they experience a bit of downtime, but we are looking into it. They will give us a full report on why we were off there. All right. And his Ash is taking a long weekend. Yeah, hardest as a Ferrari. You can come and check it out. All right. Are you guys ready to go? Are you guys ready to go? I'm one of those guys, Clinton. I just ignore certain questions, I just move on. I just move on. If I see something there and I'm like, hey, I don't want to get into that now, I just move. And just look at Chuck. Chuck is here. My word. Chuck, where have you been? Chuck, where have you been? I mean, like guys, you know what? Let's just give Chuck, a big warm welcome here, because Chuck has been out of, I don't know, it's been how long now, Chuck? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Welcome, my friend. It's good to see you again, man. Is there anyone else that like Ari as well? Let's give Ari a warm welcome. All right. Is there anyone else that hasn't been here for some time, man, and you just came on again today? Come on, man. Let me know. I want to give you a warm welcome. All right. It's always good to see the faces again. Okay. Welcome, welcome. And the cinematics are looking good there, Chuck. They're looking good. This is the cinematics. We have to talk, my friend. All right. Look at this, guys. This is today's economic calendar. Let's kick this thing off now, guys. This is the economic calendar. And this is what we're looking out for today. High impact news. I have adjusted it to that only, not the medium or the low impact. I keep it on high because that obviously shows us more impactful releases that, gives a lot more volatility, especially to the guys that are in this thing that's brand new. So obviously there's certain things that I'm going to say that you can pick up on, and there's other guys that have been around, and I said to you yesterday that if you've been around, you've got to be more intentional now about the information. Got to actually intentionally apply it and not just say, I understand it, but actually apply. All right. So the intention here is to track high impact information, know your technical so well, and when the impact hits, then you understand why it hit. So you can track back. All right. So if tomorrow comes, you'll be able to go back and say, Ash, this is what happened at 3:30. This is what happened, all right, at 11 a.m. Do you see that? So that's very important for you to become intentional. All right. Also, guys, what's very important here, we are seeing that we have the US building permits, initial jobless claims. These are all economic releases that happen on a monthly basis. Don't forget, I'm just going over them so you guys can see what to expect. And then obviously tomorrow, guys, retail sales there. Retail sales are very important, guys. It measures the spending of what is happening in a specific country, and so it's very important for you guys to know that. We have Lagarde or Lagarde speaking tomorrow at 10:30 as well. And guys, what's important about this is that this then gives direction, it gives flow to what could happen, especially the euro, because the US, it does merge together many times. When the euro increases by a certain amount of basis points, then we see if the euro increases, we normally see the US also increase. So if Lagarde says anything interesting that, tomorrow in terms of interest rates, you might see the US pursue the same thing. So it's going to be important, especially for December, because we've now had 4 consecutive rates or hikes of 75 basis points. It's 0.75%. And so we want to see if it's going to start going to 0.5% now. All right. We're going to have to wait and see. All right. I'm seeing they've been working trading approach for the time. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I see you, Chuck. And then I see, I'm not so sure what that is there with those files. All right. Yeah. I can't really look at it right now. All right, we need to pursue it. I'll check it out if we have a moment. All right. So guys, here we have the dollar index, all the guys that are joining for the first time. And what's very important about this is that there has been no movement to the upside here. And we are seeing that spike to the downside. All right. Is it Uncle Sean's Ferraris? All right. So we'll just give Uncle Sean, let's give Uncle Sean a round of applause, because I'm seeing some guys are saying that Uncle Sean is showing off. Who's showing off? Oh, Uncle, this is the agent. Let's give Uncle Sean a round of applause there for the Fs. All right. And then back to the dollar index, guys. We have a consolidated move here now. Now, guys, what's critical about this is that we are still gunning for dollar a weakness. All right. And I'm going to say it again. It is temporal. It is not overall. It is us just looking at price moving possibly down to the 102 level. Guys, I'm still seeing this. I'm not seeing it any other way. At this point in time, if you look at the higher time frames, I want you to please understand that this could definitely be the reality. Could be the reality. Look at last week. I mean, it is insane at that drop. So if we do push up for a retracement, so be it. But the only way from a momentum perspective, we really get out of this fellow. If I quickly go back, I want you to look at this. The only way we really push away from those zones there, we have to push above this area here. We have to push above that area there, and we got to push above this area. So this zone, and this zone, these three over here. And the last one ends at around 112. So if you go back to the monthly and you look at the 112, for us to continue going up, we have to really push above the 112 area, which is here. So at this point in time, we are still trending down. All right, we're still trending down. This 1 week candle here has now surpassed these 2 weeks here. Sorry, this 1 month has passed this 2 months here already. This is a monthly chart. All right. So this month here, can you see it surpassed these 2 here, which tells you there's a very big drop here. So from a technical premise, guys, we are still trending down. We are not pushing up yet. Please understand that if you're going to go against the dollar, meaning that if you are going to trade in its weakness, all right, then obviously then there could be some opportunities there. But if you're going to go pro-dollar, and you're going to trade on the strength of the dollar, it might be a premature entry at this point in time. It might be premature because we are for the dollar, but there are times when you are actually realizing the strength and the weakness. And at this point in time, there is still weakness. All right. Work hard and make money. I'll buy another one next year. I would rather buy a business to make more passive before I buy a car. But to each their own, absolutely. So guys, even with trade, I want to bring that comment in here. To each their own. All right. Some guys prefer the entries into this specific zone here. Other guys want more accuracy, and I've been saying this non-stop. Some guys will wait for it to push down a little bit further. Then they start buying the dollar from these areas here. Then you get another guy that says, no, I don't want to buy it from here. I would rather buy, it on its way up, because if I know that it's on its way up, then it gives me a higher probability that I'm going to come out victorious. Because if you're going to buy it here, what's to say price is not going to go down further? Does that make sense, everybody? So there's guys that will do this. As an example, watch very carefully now. They will do this. They'll buy the dollar here. Then price moves down. They'll buy the dollar there again. Then price moves down. They'll buy a dollar here again. And now you have 3 positions. Are we together? This is crazy. 3 positions coming down, down, down. And then look at this. Price comes down again. And guess what you do? You buy dollar here again. But by this time, now your portfolio has taken a knock, because now you're in a big deficit. Now you got to put and throw and pull and draw income from other areas. Does that make sense, everybody? So that you can obviously put into your specific account so you don't blow it, so it doesn't hit the margin call. So that's why some guys, they don't like that. They will prefer let price do what it does. When it comes up again, it hits and it goes through a certain area. That's where they start buying now. Is everybody with me? So they start buying here. And then that probability is just higher. Is everybody clear? Is everybody clear with that, guys? All right. Let me just give everybody 14 seconds. I'm seeing some comments there, guys. The cards and so forth. Just make sure that you're also clued up here, guys. We can have a chat on the side. It's cool, but just make sure that you're still focused. Are we together? Just make sure that the attention is on what we are mentioning here. Are we together, guys? But it's all good. 14 seconds. Is everybody 100%? I'm gonna go to the MT5. All right. I'm gonna go to the MT5. Boipelo, 100%. I've been a victim of this when I first started trading. Beautiful. That's good feedback. So actually, you just suggest that we sell the dollar at the moment instead of buying. Okay, that's a very good question, Angel. I won't suggest that you just sell or buy it, because the technicals need to merge with the sell. If your technicals, depending on the pair, yes. All right, and where that price is, then yes. But if it's not ready to be sold, don't sell it. Are we together? So it's not that simple. And guys, there's a lot of guys that fall into the trap where they will look at something like, for example, like this, and they'll look at this area here. All right, they'll look at this specific area here. They'll look at indices, they'll see commodities, etc. So they'll look at it and they'll say, okay, the S&P here is down, I'm going to sell. You see that, everybody? It's down, I'm going to sell now. So they see the color and then they invest, all right, connecting to that specific color. And you know what? I'm going to ask the question here. Who has done that before in their life? Being a trader now in your career. You started out in the beginning, whatever. Who has done that before? You know, you guys know we value honesty in here. There's a lot of people that, yes, there's Cheryl, there we go. It's cool. Are we together? Guys, when I started out, this was obviously my first year here. I did that. But, you know, I didn't get any education in the beginning. I'm one of those guys, I jump in the field very quickly. I jump in and I learn to swim. That's just my thing. I like pressure. Are we together? Other guys don't like pressure. Some guys want the education first and then they get in. There's nothing wrong with that. I just like the pressure. I want to get in and feel it. Be like, what's this thing pushing me? Does that make sense? So I see the green, I get in. Okay, I'm buying, boom, make a loss. Why? Then I go and I decode. But there are different things that I'm not going to do that with my kids, though. I'm not going to let my kids go hungry and get that pressure. Does that make sense? I'll plan for that. So it depends what you are doing. But in a case like this, I jumped in before. Does it make sense? And the loss helped me understand better. So I'm not saying, in no way am I saying go make losses now. Please don't go make losses now. Are we together? Is everybody with me there? But there's something about a loss, and there's something about pain, and there's something about a lie, and there's something about the negativity that helps you see how to avoid it. Is everybody clear? There's something about a bad balance that helps you see how to get a good balance. But if you had a good balance all the time, it's very dangerous at the same time. Are we together? Everybody with me on that? That's a very important point. So be careful of things like that. There's a lot of guys, they fall into that trap. That's not us here, all right? So let's get to the NASDAQ here. Let's go and see what's cracking. I hope you can see my charts. I've now shared them. And it is panning out in accordance with yesterday's analysis. Mr. H, we said, Cheryl, I said to you guys that it's unlikely that price is going to hit that same area the next day. Because now we need price to start doing what? Now it needs to push down, gather some support again, rally support, contract, get money. And you got to get investors also there. Well, we're not going to get them there. And I always say to you guys, we are now 65 people on here. If we had 65 trillion US dollars amongst us here, we could have been that market maker there. And we could have created this market. Does that make sense? We could have said, yes, we're going to go up now. But because we're 65 retail traders here, all right, and we don't have access to any bank software, because the banks, you're not allowed to have the software, you will get sued and you'll go to jail. Does it make sense, everybody? You don't know what kind of orders they are going to put in. But if you had access to it, then obviously we can talk in more detail. But we are retail traders here, so we have to go with what the market is showing us. Everybody with me there, guys? So it's unlikely. If you look at the hourly frame, this is the past few days. That's today, yesterday. What's today? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Can you guys see that? So Tuesday there, we hit the high. It's unlikely that it's going to hit that high again, because these kind of securities, the ones that are very volatile, they move with a lot of pips. So they need a lot of support. They need a lot of money. Does that make sense, everybody? For it to flow. And they do get that money. That's the thing. They do get the money, but just not in that specific direction necessarily. But what I can say to you is we are definitely not seeing weakness here at this point. We are accumulating on the top side of this peak here. Is everybody with me? We need to break this area, 11,589, before we suggest a short on this specific area. Is everybody clear? And I'm going to say it in a different way now. Now watch very carefully here. There is nothing in the way, nothing in the way, nothing in the way, and nothing in the way there. Is everybody with me? There are no pivot points. There's no opening and closing here. The next closing or the next opening was down here, and the one before that. So if price is going to push down, these boxes are empty. There's no money here. Can I just say that again, guys? I hope you're catching me, Chris. This is price action, my friend, all right? Look at this. There's no money here. This is a free all or free fall. Is everybody with me? There's a slide at, is it at Gold Reef? No. At Sun City? No. Ushaka. No, I don't know where it is, but it's the longest slide in Africa. And I went on that slide. I can't remember. Is it Ushaka? But Ushaka's closed down. Am I right? It's closed down now, yeah? And that specific slide, I believe it's Ushaka. Yes. All right. When you go down that slide, guys, for a couple of seconds, you're free falling. 90 degrees. Have you guys seen that? I don't know who's actually been on that slide before there. For a couple of seconds, all right, guys, you are free falling. It's Ushaka. There we go. You are free falling like there's nothing. It's just you're free falling. There's nothing happening here, guys. There's nothing in between. Your bum is going to touch this zone here. Your bum's going to touch that zone there now. Is everybody with me here? So this is a very nice trade to the downside. Is everybody with me? These boxes are so important. The boxes, the opening. Write this down. Chris, write this down for me. The opening of a day is important. The opening of a day. The opening of a week is important. The opening of a week. Write that down for me. The opening of a month is important. The opening of a day. The opening of a week. The opening of a month is very important. That is absolutely, absolutely important. Ash, I'm going to on a long, can you give me a short-term TP? For a long, Mr. H, for a long, yes, man. See, I can give you a TP. I can say to you, here's the TP. But if you have no buyers coming in, the TP doesn't help. You see that? So I can give you 3, 4 TPs, but you got to look at the momentum. So you're in it for a long, so you got in prematurely. Do you see that? So if you got in prematurely, now you got to wait for this section here, this structure. It must be violated. When this structure is violated, that gives you direction now technically. Do you see that, Mr. H? All right. Now, Ash, give me some more detail into the structure. This is an hour frame. This is the detail of what's happening at the peak. When I go to the daily frame, now look at this. When I go to the daily frame, this must be violated in terms of direction. So if it breaks above the 11,872, Mr. H, 12153 is brilliant for short term. All right. Because from there to there is 276 pips. But we need this to be broken. If the sellers come in, if that dollar keeps on weakening, this is a fantastic trade. But if that dollar starts coming up, you might want to reconsider that investment now and say, I got to get out here now because I'm going to lose money. Remember, NASDAQ, I wish I could say that in Zulu. This thing will finish you off. Are we together? Because Zulu and Sotho is more passionate, yeah? This thing will finish you off. Maybe Twana, you know, where's TT? Yeah, maybe Twana, I don't know. All right? This thing will finish you off if you don't know how to play with this thing. It's like a pit bull, a Rottweiler, a Boerboel, all these guys. If you understand the personalities of these securities, it makes it easier for you to trade them. I hope you guys are seeing this thing here. When a pit bull goes into red zone, if you guys know about that bloodline, you get different bloodlines, right? Hank, Carver, Spike, Polio, etc. Yellow nose, there's so many, blue line, etc. But each of those bloodlines in that breed has specific features. Is everybody with me here? Polio is a very aggressive breed, a bloodline. Are we together? Carver, Hank, those are show dogs. They're beautiful, beautiful eyes, beautiful coats, etc. So they have different features. Are we together, guys? Fresno is game, is extremely aggressive. Are we together, everybody? So it's important for you to know these things because the NASDAQ, in terms of compared to the S&P, compared to gold, compared to the Euro USD, it's different. So if you don't understand the concept of those features, you're going to treat them all the same, and your balance is going to be damaged. Is everybody with me there, guys? I'm seeing some comments there. Are the openings the pivot? You can call them pivot points, Chris. You can call them major levels, key levels. I'm not going to put a term to it because I don't want to solidify and trap you in a term. Because when you give someone a term, you trap them, you imprison them to think that way. Does that make sense? So I want you to have an open mind. Call them a major level, call them a pivot point, call them a key area. I don't care what you call them. Just know the beginning of a day is critical because price reacts. The beginning of a week, the beginning of a month, the beginning of a year, these are critical points. And the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month and the end of the year. I can see there's a lot of passion coming out of me now, all right? Because when it comes to technicals, guys, if you understand your technical chart well, and you can detail and cut this thing into pieces, your fundamentals make sense, your risk and reward makes sense, and your entire plan makes sense. But if you don't get it, you're going to just trade because someone said so. Is everybody clear with that? And the frustration kicks in there, the frustration. And this thing is real. It's as real as the nose on your face. So we're together. Is that smell that you smell when you walk out and something's burning? It's that real, this frustration. All right. Let's see there. Isn't that the Temple of Courage? Chuck? You know what? I think it's your Shaka, man. But anyway, 50 pips there. Emergency exit. Yes. Mr. H, you can have an emergency exit on this. But what's going to be challenging is, look at this dip here. So you can't use this dip. Can you see that, Mr. H? That is too far down. Meneer, that's 751 pips. That's a lot of money. If you put a 0.01 into 700 pips as baie geld, it's a lot of money. Does it make sense, everybody? Imagine you put 10 standard loss into 700 pips. You're running some numbers there now. Is everybody clear there, guys? Everybody clear? Everybody clear, guys? Herman, it's like, it's Rocket, that dog, man. I'm telling you. Hey, that rocket, man. I told the story. I won't go into it today. All right. So, Mr. H, now you got to use, look at this. You got to use a more recent dip. Now, this dip won't work. Can you see this? This dip is not going to work. Cheryl, here's that nugget now. Because if the dip is too far away, you got to use a recent one. This is not going to work. So let me put that in red. Let me see if I can put this in red. Guys, I love it when we have moments like this, because this is where technique comes in. All right, everybody. It's like that coach that's saying to you when you're punching, all right, don't punch like this. When you punch, you got to straighten out that hand. Does it make sense? Or that fist. So now the technique comes in. The technique. Because when you're in the match, you got to recall what was said to you. So this dip is not going to work. This dip is not going to work. This dip is not going to work. Can you see that? But look at this fellow here. This area here. Look at this guy here. Can you guys see this? If you had to choose out of these four, this is the guy, all right, that's in alignment with this area here. Do you see that? So 1 and 2, there's highs here, there's highs there. So what you do now is you say, okay, I need to work with what is given. So this area there, right there, boom, 11646. Can you see that? That becomes the emergency exit. So the moment you see a daily candle close beneath there, 8 the shade. Just get out of it. Just get out of it. You don't even doubt it. Just get out. Because if you don't get out, when that thing closes beneath, morgenoggend, when you wake up at 5 a.m. and this thing dropped, ladies and gentlemen, all right, Daniel, how do you say cry in Sotho or Zulu? Please tell me so I can just say passionately. Everybody with me, you will cry. Is everybody clear? So for that one, we leave it for now. It's accumulating at that peak. There's nothing we can do. S&P 500, the same. They look the same. You go into the hour, it's accumulating at the peak. It's the same. So these indices, I spoke to you about these bloodlines, same breed, different bloodline. Same breed, different bloodline within the breed. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? I had a Carver spike. Are we together? A bit of bolio in my pit bull for 10 years. I suppressed the aggression, Mr. H. Never bit the person, never bit the dog, ever. For 10 years. Very obedient. Had to put the poor fellow down, all right? Cancer, yeah? Never bit, suppressed. Suppressed that thing that they say is crazy. Are we together? So the bolio was suppressed by the Carver spike. Carver spike. Are we together? And so this year, same breed, different bloodline. Is everybody with me here, guys? NASDAQ is very aggressive. Very aggressive. US 30, Dow Jones, very aggressive. The S&P is not as aggressive as these two here. Is everybody with me here? Yes, it moves. Yes, absolutely, with fundamentals. But the movement, there are differences because of the size of the index. The index is very big. How do you know it's a volatile index? Look at the size of the index. That means it has been pushed from one price to another price. Look at NASDAQ, 30,000 guys, or at least it has gone there before. Oh no, sorry, that's the US 30. 30,000. So it tells you it went from 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000, 2,000. So it's been traded so much that it reached 30,000. Does that make sense? It tells you about the movement and the activity. So the bigger the index, the bigger the moves. Please write that down for me. Write it, please. Guys, these are such critical things. When the index is big, you're going to find big movements. The smaller the index, the smaller the moves. We're not taking out the volatility. Does that make sense? We're not taking out the volatility. We're talking about the moves. The S&P 500 is not going to move 500 pips or 600 or 700 pips because of fundamentals. Is everybody with me there? But the NASDAQ can. The US 30 can, because the US 30 moves like 350 per day. Is everybody with me? So fundamentals, this thing can easily do 1,000. It's nothing for it. This is important information because this goes back to your plan. Look at the Dow Jones. Same thing here. It's at a peak. If you go to the hour frame, it is currently consolidating at the peak. Nothing to continue or nothing to do here. We got to wait for this. Everybody with me? Can I just make another comment here quickly to all the guys that have heard? There are opportunities every single day. I'm sure you guys have heard that, especially from the guys that are doing videos. Guys, I trade every single day. Every day there's an opportunity. Guys, yes, there is opportunities every day, but it does not mean it's ideal. Everybody with me? You can do a 5-minute chart quickly and say, okay, I'm going to short it. And I want your guys' honesty here. The moment it breaks that support, I'm going to shy down to the support. Who has been there before? Who has been there before? The moment it breaks that support, Ash, I'm just waiting for a 5-minute candle. Shy down to this area here. Right down to this area here. This is an opportunity, but it does not mean that it's. Is everybody clear? There's opportunities every day, but it does not mean it's ideal because price can do this. Look at this. Break. So now you sell and it goes down, 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 down. Now watch this, Cheryl. Now you haven't been in Ash's trading room session and you don't know that there's a pivot point here. Right? You haven't been in the session. You're starting out, you don't know anything about it, and guess what happens? Price comes down to this area here, and you're smiling. But then it hits that pivot point, and then it does that. Do you guys see that? Is everybody with me here? Everybody with me? Let me see there. Currency pairs, done that a lot. All right, all right, all right. Please explain his movement. Anna Marie, which movement? Okay, I've moved my stop loss past my entry, so now can't lose. That is like a trailing stop. You're just locking in your profits so that, okay, so let me actually do it like this. I like the questions. I like questions because questions reveals, that's why I like interviews. I don't know if you guys like interviews and not just the shows. There's a lot of guys, they do shows and it's brilliant, but when you have interviews, they reveal nuggets in interviews because they're asking different questions, yeah? So the same here. So let's say you do enter here. This is your entry here, Anna Marie, all right? And your stop loss was here as an example. This was your stop loss. And let's say your take profit is over here. This is just an example. Price is here, moves down, and then you move this stop loss now to this area here, which means now you're at break-even point. You see that now you're at a break-even point, which means that if price had to go up like this, hit your stop loss, you've broken even. Does that make sense? There's actually no loss there. But what Mr. H is referring to is that prices move down, hold on, prices move down here, and then he's moved it now past the entry. So he's locked in his profits now. Do you see that? So it's moved it past his entry. Here's where price is. Price is there. So he's already in profits. And so he moves it past. It's now past his entry. So even if price does this, boom, still makes money. Still makes money. Guys, what Mr. H has mentioned there in a statement, and the question that Anna Marie has asked upon that statement is technique, and it's called a trailing stop. It's a trailing stop. You can do it manually. You can do it automatically on here as well. Are we together? But this is the thing. This is the important thing. That statement and that question has revealed technique. Is everybody with me? It's revealed technique. And that's what a lot of guys don't even know. Anna Marie, makes sense? All the guys that have seen that now as well, maybe for the first time, I don't know, or maybe have heard it but didn't understand it. Is that clear? Let me ask the question. You guys know I don't live in any assumption. I ask the question rather, so that when I get the answer, I know where we are, right? Is everybody clear here? All right, everybody clear? Got you, share? All right, so the guys are clear. John is in profits. Yes, good insurance. Robert, very clear, beautiful. Couple of times. All right, this is brilliant feedback. This is what we want. Siyabonga didn't know. Beautiful. I love the honesty. There's something very, very good about any individual that's very honest. Yes, guys? Honesty is really a powerful, powerful thing. That's a powerful thing. All right. I read a quote from who was it this morning? What's his name with the V? Clinton? Stevie V? No. I don't remember his name now. I'll get Gary V. Gary V. You guys know Gary V? He's on YouTube. He does a lot of these. He said something so powerful, man. He said kindness is one of the most underrated features. I'm paraphrasing or saying, you know, not quote unquote, but he said kindness is one of the underrated features in business, or underrated traits in business. That is so true. Does that make sense, everybody? So is honesty. All right, honesty. Tebo, you still owe us? Yes, we can do it today. It's fine, not a problem. Thanks for reminding me, Taps. All right, can we move, guys? Brent, still nothing here. Nothing here still. Can you guys still see that support? Nothing, guys. Let's go to WTI. They correlate together. Still at the support. It's such a true statement. This kind, yes. Because money drives people's mindsets. That's the fact. Money drives people's mindset. Guys, if you want to make a note, please make a note of this. Don't let profits drive your balance. Do not be greedy for profits. Be greedy for patterns. Eat patterns, consume them. Know the patterns. Because profits is the secondary consequence or the result of being able to understand the pattern. If you don't understand the pattern, you will not make profits. Everybody with me here? It's easy to talk about you can make so much money. Let's go put up that calculator, Chris. Easy. I can put the calculator, do a quick TP for you and say you can make 500 Rand. That's the easy part. Eat and consume the patterns, the cycles, the movement, the structure. That's what you must consume. Is everybody with me? If you're lazy to look at patterns, profits are not going to show. So always ask yourself, if you feel stuck, what is the pattern here? What am I missing here? Does it make sense, everybody? When you feel stuck psychologically in trading, go back and ask, what am I missing in terms of the pattern? What did I not see? What am I missing? What am I blinded to? This might seem silly maybe to people out there, But ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you today, every TP that we've hit here in this trading room session with me here was because of patterns. It had nothing to do with luck or coincidence. Does it make sense, everybody? In terms of, it was just going up. We analyzed it. You saw it yourself. We tracked it week after week. The next week, we'd come back and we'll look at that same share and we track the pattern. Is everybody with me there, guys? This is crazy stuff here this morning. I don't know why this is so crazy, why we're so technical in terms of looking at these things, but it's critical for you to actually know them, all right? There might be some people on here that's really hungry to succeed. You'd be surprised. People that want to succeed, they drive an atmosphere. Does it make sense? The responses, the questions, it drives an atmosphere. So this trading room session is atmospheric depending on the people in there. Otherwise, it will just be boring. Are we together? So we want this thing where we walk away and we say, listen, I've learned something here. Does that make sense? That's what you want. That's what you want. So we drive the atmosphere. All right. Gold, Mr. H. Very happy. I'll always reference you. All right. We are not getting into this yet. And we did not get into it because we've been tracking this thing very well. Our levels are concrete. It's solid. 1784 has held. It's resisting. And even here, look at this. We said we will only sell this thing. Hold on. We said we'll only sell it. Remember, 1765 and 1757. We will only sell it if it goes beneath that area. You can clearly see the rejection, guys. Look at this. It is still at the top of that peak. So there's nothing for us to do here. Now, here's the thing. Here's the question. All right. Can you sell it now? There's the question to you. I'm posing it. Can you sell it? Can you? Can you? John, the pros are looking for those. Yes. Agree, John. The way, I think the same with loyalty, when things get tough, people tend to lose. Yeah, guys, listen, loyalty and support, those are two different things. You can't build with someone that just supports. Got to have some loyal people in your corner. A loyal mentor that will always help. Are we together, irrespective? These are psychological things that people don't consider because people are quick to turn backs. People turn backs very fast, right? Mr. H, you make one wrong statement to them. You give me nothing in life, so what? I'm gone. You meet up with that same guy 3 years later. He's in a higher place, and now he's the door. He's the door for your success. Be very careful. Are we together? We need both support. We need loyalty. Both of them. Both of them. Both of them. All right. So can we sell? Yes, we can. But here's the wisdom. It's not ideal. You can sell. Click on new order. Put up your lot sizes. Are we together? And then you click sell. I'm not going to click sell because it's not ideal. All right. Where's the ideal place? I want price to push below there. It's push below 1757. Let's look for the boxes. Let's look for the boxes now. All right. The start of the day. That's the only box. There's no other boxes here, ladies and gentlemen. Ash, what do you mean the boxes? Here's the boxes. The start of a day. There's nothing there. It's free falling like that slide. It's free falling. Does that make sense? On the hour chart. Now, let me give you some more detail now. Let's go into a 5 minute. Let's see. See those boxes there? Let's see if there's anything. Nothing. So all the way down from an hour frame, right down to the 5 minute, there's nothing. But I can guarantee you today, from a price action perspective, if price did this, that, on the 15 minute, we would have possibly seen price do that, all right, and then possibly push up again. Can you see that? Because there would have been a box. There's nothing there. It's empty. Is everybody with me here, guys? Is everybody with me? Let me make sure. 14 seconds to everyone. 14 seconds to everyone. There's nothing even on the 3 minute. Let's go to the 2 hour. Let's see. I'm trying to show you a technique that from a price action perspective, it becomes so accurate. Look at that, nothing. It's nothing standing in its way. This is a very big drop. And this is good money right here. This is good money right here. If it comes and drops below 1757. And if that dollar keeps on weakening, all right, if the dollar keeps on weakening, are we together? We're not going to see it. If the dollar strengthens, please write that down. If the dollar strengthens, then we see the drop. But if the dollar weakens, we don't see the drop, we see the climb. All right. There's no start of the day. So meaning there's no box there, there's no pivot point, there's no major area. It means price did not open there. So therefore that area doesn't exist. Does it make sense? There's no money to support it. All right. Remember, every time price opens, and guys, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier on. Mika, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Lindo, Matlochonolo, look at this. The reason why I said the beginning of a day is important, the beginning of a week is important, the beginning of a month and a year is important, because wherever price opened in that specific period, there was money there. Does that make sense? People put money at that area. So if there's no opening at that zone, there's no money there. So what happens when there's no money? Who can tell me what happens when there's no money? What does price do? I wanted to give you guys this psychological thing. It's going to take too much time. I wanted to just show. Guys, listen, this thing is so obsessive. All right. If you really get into it, this thing is obsessive in such a way that you begin to use creativity, your mind, to understand the patterns. Can I just say that again, guys? For you to see a pattern, you got to use imagination. Now, Ash, this is a trading room. We're talking about numbers. What are you talking about? What are you on about? We didn't come to hear about imagination. Guys, for you to see a pattern, you must be able to be creative, because you got to think. Does that make sense, everybody? Your brain must be stretched to the point where you're looking at different things from different angles. So you must be able to put thoughts in place. So this is not a general ledger in accounting. Does that make sense, everybody? Where it is you writing this in that column, that in that column, straightforward. When it comes to trading, money comes from the value perceived by people. So if you don't understand that, you won't get this. Watch this now. This, let's just say this zone here was right through. Are we together? Now what price does is when it comes up, there are buyers, look at this, that are coming in here. I'm now referring to price action. This is price action. And what the buyers have done is, I want you to look at this tool that I'm going to use now. Can you look at this? This I did when in 2018, excuse me, I was busy explaining support and resistance and how price moves from one area to the next, all right, using imagination. These arrows represent money. And now look at this. This here represents money. So every time a buyer comes in, price keeps on pushing up, up, up. Do you see that? So all of this money here, all that money there creates a candle. Is everybody with me here, guys? Is everybody with me so far, right? Just use your imagination here. Then it starts pushing up some more. So more money comes in, more buyers, more buyers, more buyers. So think of this entire area's money, a weight of money. Is everybody with me? This is a weight, it's a whole bag of money. All right? It's being pushed up, 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 up. Look at this. It's being pushed up. Where? To this point up here. Can you guys see that? Is everybody with me here? And then guess what starts to happen? When this fall happens here, who can tell me, just from imagination perspective, what do you think is happening with this same bag of money that's been pushed up to this area here? All of this money here has been pushed up to this zone. What do you think happens when the fall happens? People get scared, yes. Money gets less. People are pulling, yes. All right, so I'm going to use green or blue. Let me use blue now. Now watch. People start pulling from the same bag of money that was here. They start pulling their money out. Does that make sense? Taking it out, taking it out. because of what happens around the world. And what happens to this bag of money? It gets less and less and less, and now price starts forming resistance, and now people think resistance is about price hitting the... No, guys, price is getting less. The wicks are touching, but it's not getting there. Does that make sense? And what happens after enough money has come out of the bag? We start dropping. We start dropping. I'm even hitting my desk here, Clinton, because of the obsession here. Does that make sense, everyone? Mr. H, I'll say it again. If I was with you in a physical class, I'd be on a table right now, stomping my feet and saying that same statement. This bag gets less. It gets less. And the less it gets, the less money there is, and price drops. That's the concept that I want you to envision here. Because if you get that, then you'll know, okay, my timing is wrong to get into the trade. The money is still trapped there. Does that make sense? The money is still there. The price action has not moved away from that area yet. So what am I? What business do I have selling now? Is everybody with me? I have no business doing that. I don't know who said it till today. Who made that up? Mind your business. I don't know. You guys can tell me. Who was the author of Mind Your Business? Just that statement, that quote. Mind your business at this resistance here. Just mind it. Leave it alone. Let the money be pulled out. Let the drop happen. You get in after the drop. Is everybody with me here, guys? Everybody with me? You're welcome, Robert. Charmaine, you're welcome. All right. So and guys, that happens across the board. Doesn't matter what you're trading. If you're trading equities long term, the same thing is happening. It's just equities. The money is, it's crazy in there. People are leaving millions, all right, in stocks for 10 years. Imagine the compounded interest or profits that's actually working. It's crazy. All right, everybody, let's move. USD JPY. Can you see this drop here? Mika, look at this. Money came up, dropped, and we came down. Money was pulled out of the top here. Money was pulled out and it dropped. Now here's the question. And this is the nugget that has to do with those phases. The accumulation phase is the buildup of funds. Is everybody with me here? The accumulation is the building up of that cloud of money. Now that cloud of money, same concept here. Look at this, Rob. Build up of money. Are we together? Now you got to look at, okay, will price, if it breaks this area here, as an example now, that would technically mean, look at this, that the money has gotten so much here. People have come in, buyers have come in, right? That it's now pushing the price up. Can you see that? So why would you sell? Do you see the logic there, guys? Do you see the logic? So why would you sell if it goes up? Some guys will say, yeah, but Ash, you know, a higher price to sell it down. A higher price to sell it down. Guys, who does not want to make more money? Everybody here that's in here wants to make more money. But it does not mean that because you're selling from a higher price that we're going to push down from there. Because now the other technique comes in, or at least the other features of price action. Is this an uptrend? Is this a downtrend? Does that make sense? So if you're selling and this is an uptrend, what do you think is going to happen to your balance? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is going to happen to the balance? All right. They're moving funds around. Sia Mkiza asked me that same question last week. They consider certain securities as safe haven securities. If one is doing badly or poorly, they put their money into a rising one. Some guys take the money out of a rising one and put it into one that is doing weak, because you can still capitalize on the weakness. It's the moving around of value. That's why, all right, you get the correlation between these commodities and these currencies. It's the issue of value. That's why. Where do they see the most value? All right. Now, guys, just to conclude on Sia's question there, it is a gift. Mr. H, it's a gift for a trader to know that there is a direct correlation between the US dollar and gold. That's a gift. Does that make sense? If no one has told you that, you won't understand it. If someone doesn't detail that down, you won't know it's a gift. Does that make sense? But when they explain it to you, and now you understand this direct correlation between the two, now you can plan around that. Is everybody clear? Now you can plan around it. But if you don't know it, you can't. All right, everybody clear? And yes, you're going to make losses because it's an uptrend. So with this one here, we are still in accumulation. We're waiting for it to break beneath if the dollar weakens. There's nothing for us to do for now. GBP USD, look at the GBP USD. We hit the 1.19. All right. Charmaine, they work, or they correlate positively, not negatively. Gold, silver. All right. So gold, when gold goes up, you'll see silver many times goes up as well. All right. And yes, oil and CAD. Yes. Oil and CAD. Also gold. Look at the Aussie dollar as well. Australia also exports gold. So when gold is moving, check the Aussie dollar as well. Everybody with me there, guys? Let me make sure everybody's with me. 14 seconds, guys. We're tracking well. This is a solid session. The session is solid. It's not only about looking at opportunities. There's questions being answered here. People are getting clarity. Are we together, everybody? That's what we are here for. All right. Everybody with me here? So 14 seconds. I'm seeing the yeses, the with me's. All right, beautiful. We do nothing here for now, guys. Nothing for us to do here. Nothing for us to do here. You can buy if you want. Doesn't mean it's ideal. If you want to, just click on new order and you can buy. But it's not ideal. It's not ideal. All right. Euro USD. Also nothing here. Look at the daily here. Nothing here. Let us wait. Let us wait. Nothing wrong with waiting. Yes. If you look at, Mr. H, I was doing a rundown, Mika, through Cheryl, of all of the generations. Chuck, all right, from your baby boomers, or do they call it the silent? I can't remember. Is it the silent generation? From the silent, then it's baby boomers, the generation X, then it's millennials, etc. Generation Z. There's also Alpha, and the Alpha generation. All right, that's my son now. He's in that generation, and you guys have seen what happens with the generation. I believe that's 8 years and younger. I stand to be corrected if I remember the years, maybe 10 or 8 years younger. These guys are growing up in instant gratification. You guys have seen this. If I don't get it now, problem. Are we together? I told my wife, if I ever see that in any supermarket, die bel kom af. There's no ways I'll be raising an alpha. I'll be raising an alpha in a millennial mindset. Are we together, everybody? Are we together? There's something about the older generations that I respect. Mr. H, all my seniors here, that I give great respect and honor to. Your generations, you understood the value of patience and working hard. Does that make sense? There's something about that I respect with everything in me, is that you guys, you worked hard and you understand that time, sometimes it takes time to learn something. And at this point in time, the new ones, time, it's just not there. So with trading now, you cannot trade with an alpha mindset. Does that make sense, everybody? You've got to give certain things time. You just have to. It's just one of those things, all right? So here, we do nothing. We wait for Euro USD. Everybody clear? Hold on, I'm seeing something. If we're able to trade volatility, speaking about the VOX, are you talking about those synthetic indices? Are you referring to those, the VOX, the boom, the crash? No, we don't. We don't trade those. We don't offer those. All right, let's move, guys. Let's move. We're doing very well this morning, man. I'm very happy. NZD-USD. Cheryl, look at this. Didn't get into it. We left it alone. We said, yeah. If you get in for another long now, although that is a fantastic sign, that unfinished business, it does not mean that we are getting in. Our level is solid, 61959. All right. FTSE. So Chris and Fani is with the FTSE. All right. Okay, beautiful. Hey, Sia, you know, we were talking about these 12 steps yesterday, 12 rules for life. Remember, guys, we're talking about these steps. And, you know, we are moving away from the steps of life, 5 steps to become rich. And we are now moving into DIY even further. You got to create your own strategy. Got to create your own. All right. FTSE, possible sell. Let's just go to the FTSE real quick here, because that is also one for Fani. Fani also likes FTSE. We had a successful run on that one, Chris. We had a good buy there, good TP hit there. All right. And there are still, you know, certain ones that I do keep, you know, up so we can check it. And you want to go to, hold on. Let me just see. Sorry, guys, my screen is freezing on my side, but can you guys see? I'm having a bit of a delay, but can you see? Just let me know, please, if it's coming through. Sell below 7326. Yeah, look, you're doing a shorter time frame. All right, this area here is already important on a daily. So just watch this one here first. Before we go to 7-1, you got to cross this barrier here first. You got to cross this barrier here first. That's 7275. That's a daily. That's a daily one. It's more important than an hourly. Daily pivots are more important than hourly pivots. All right. Please remember that. Weekly pivots are more important than daily. Monthly pivots are more important than weekly. Is everybody clear with that? You got to move down. Monthly is more important than a 1 minute. Don't even get trapped in that storm. That's a different storm altogether, the 1 minute frame. That storm, you're never going to get out there. Never going to get out there. You're going to spend eternity in that hurricane. All right, everyone? Let's move. So remember, Chris, this pivot here, watch that, my friend, on a daily. Rather focus on that, because that's the momentum. 7-2. All right, 7-2-7-2, I believe. 7-2-5-7, around there. All right. That's where the air went. You know, Mr. H, you know what? I did a brush cut for like 8-9 years, didn't grow my hair at all, and people were starting to think that I can't grow my hair. They thought I'm bald on top, you know. I don't know why, but I got these strange comments after I grew it. They're like, "Yes, man, we thought that you know, you don't have hair on top." I'm like, "Hey, I'm still a young man, brother. I'm 35 years old. What you talking about?" All right. Let's move, guys. I want to go to the GBP yen real quick. Remember we chatted about the GBP yen yesterday? And we said that, guys, we won't touch this long if we don't go past which area? 166. Cheryl, look at this. Still in the buy zone there, sweetheart. Look at this. Still in the zone to buy. And if we cross 166, which was the 50% of our Fibonacci, there we get an entry now. Do you see? Remember, I detailed that whole thing down for you to use the Fibonacci in a different way. 166. We did not get in there. Was there a drop? Yes, but we were still in the buy zone. We were still in the buy zone. Ash, where's this buy zone that you are talking about? Well, my friends. Oh, I love it. Look at this. We're still in the buy zone here. Let me make this thinner, because obviously the thickness is going to give us kind of sweep brand here. All right. So we're still in the buy zone. Ash, where is this buy zone that you keep on ranting and raving about? It is this area here. That's the buy zone. All right. Guys, now remember what's important. I just want to alter this for you real quickly. This is the symmetrical triangle. But I want to alter this and say to you, learn to draw the cross. Because the cross reveals the buy zone and the cross reveals the sell zone. The symmetrical triangle doesn't reveal those two areas. Does it make sense, everyone? Everybody with me there? So learn to draw this structure here when you trading shorter time frames to help you with the price action and the price movement. This is not a strategy. This is for you to track the action of the price. Can I say that again? I'm going to say that again. This is not a strategy. This is for you to track the movement of the price. It is still in the buy zone. Can I pause there? I think that makes total sense, yeah? Maybe let me know if that makes sense. Because a lot of guys have this thing where they ask people, do you understand? The whole time, you know, like it's that difficult to understand. And then maybe you know, that thought will come through and say, hey man, you know, you keep asking me if I understand, like I don't have a brain. All right. But this is the thing. The reason why I'm asking if it makes sense is because I want to be the one to communicate it correctly to you. I know you can understand if I say it properly. If I say it incorrectly, then you're not going to understand. Does it make sense? So I want to know if it's clear, so that obviously with the understanding, you can apply it. Why would you want to sell if it's in the buy zone? Some guys will say, let's sell it till there. Why in the world would you sell it till there? Why in the world? If you can clearly see, we're tracking the price, it's still above in this zone. It must break the 50, the apex, the hemisphere here before you think about a sell. Is everybody with me there? All right, Ari wants another explanation. Guys, is there anyone else that wants to join Ari there? Who would like me to quickly just go through this cross here, real quick, just to track the movement of the price? Anyone else? Anyone else? All right, we're using a 1 hour frame. Guys, can I please say this? It's difficult to track price on shorter time frames. Please write that down. It's more complex to track price on shorter time frames, not higher time frames. Higher time frames is easy. If you put on the monthly, you can quickly track price. Does it make sense, everybody? Everybody with me? But the moment you go to a shorter time frame, it's more complex, because look at all of that work there. Where is price? Where is it exactly? Because it's, look at that. Are we up? Are we down? Where are we? It's more complex. So you use tools to help you track it. It's not a strategy. All right. So I want you to know, first of all, when you are using this specific technique or this tool to help you track the momentum, at least the price action on a shorter time frame, you must have higher lows. Please write that down. Ari, you must have higher lows. As long as you have the higher lows, then you know that there's data. So you need data. Data is the candles. Mika, data is the candles. TT, it's the candles. Herbert, more candles, more data. This data helps you draw a picture. The picture tells you what's going on, what the person is intended or what the artist intended. Does it make sense? A blank canvas is a blank canvas. When someone starts doing what? Drawing, then you say, okay, there's the ears, there's the eyes, there's the blah, there's the... So the same here, you're trying to see the picture. So what you're looking out for the picture is higher lows first. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. That means price is trending up. Then, Ari, you need to have a contradicting line here. It's giving you lower highs. Is everybody with me? So put on a line chart. A line chart is a very good chart for you to draw your lower high to lower highs. Everybody with me? And I want you to look at this now. Always use the zone where you want to TP. Try to get that area there, the start of that area. Is everybody clear there? Because you're not going to TP here. You're not going to TP there. There. So there's no need for you to draw it from there. Does that make sense, everyone? Everybody clear? You're not TPing there. From here to there is 117 pips away. You are TPing lower here. And you got to see if it's at a nice pivot point there. Christian, look at that. Look for the pivot. Look for the major area. Look for the key area. The start of the day, start of the day, start of the day. So I'm TPing at the start of this day here. Does that make sense? If it breaks the start of this day, I'm going to this day. Is everybody with me here? So look where our entry is. If we wanted to break this day here, so we can go to the next day, in the next box, we're tracking price. That's why this specific trend line is from that 167. All right. Now price obviously has moved up in accordance with our analysis. So this did not exist. Is everybody with me? That did not exist at first. So this guy here, this trend line looked different. So from there, you're tracking. This is what it looked like first. Is everybody with me? Everybody with me? That's what it looked like first. This guy, look at this. That's where it was first. We had to move. Is everybody clear? We moved through the apex, through the finish line. Is everybody there? Let me just make sure. Ari, I'm just making sure first, just to make sure everybody's with me here. Couldn't though a minute time frame be more specific? Which one is more important, Sia? A minute or an hour? Which one is more important, a minute or an hour, to track the price movement? Which one is more important? A minute or an hour? All right. Strongest signal on an hour. All right. Strongest signal on an hour. Now I want to answer Siyabonga in a detailed way. All right, everybody. Are you guys learning something here? Because guys, this is crazy stuff. Are you guys learning something here? This is the hour frame. So we're not drawing it or doing a minute trade here. All right, we're not doing a minute trade. This is an hourly time frame. Therefore, our levels are in accordance with an hourly time frame. If you wanted the minute frame, Felix, look at this. Look at this. If you wanted the minute frame, it's going to be different. All right, it's going to be different. And I'm going to get into the detail now. But this area, that pivot point there, that divides the upside, the downside. The wider the upside here, the wider the angle of that specific trend line, the greater the pressure. Can I say that again? When the angle is extended on this downward trend line here, and it's wider than that of the uptrend angle, it means there's more pressure on the buyers. We're tracking the movement. And then you can see, because it's greater in terms of the pressure that's coming from the buyers, which is this zone here. If I make this red, just to give you perspective, look at the masses. The green has a wider mass than the red. Already, just by the colors, you can see. You can see that there's more pressure on the buyers. And then it pushes out, boom, it pushes out. Can you see that? So now, as it pushes out, it gets into the top side of this cross here, which is the buyer zone. Do you see that? Now you know you're tracking price. What is price doing? It's showing us there's more buyers in this specific movement here. Can you guys see that? This is tracking the movement now. So if you can see it's broken out, Mika, why would we sell? The guy that is coming, I'm going to sell it from here. Hey. Be careful. Be careful. We are still in the buyer zone here. So if it's broken out, and then we drew the apex, the center, I also call this a finish line. When price breaks out above the northern hemisphere. Everybody with me? Keeps on moving in the buying zone and crosses over the finish line. That's telling us that there's definitely a lot of pressure from the buyers here. So why would you sell? Why in the world would you sell? Does that make sense, everybody? Everybody with me there? Ari? So now that we understand this, all right, and we understand the masses here, the difference, the northern hemisphere, we understand the apex, we understand that this is the seller zone. If price broke down there, it would be a different story. Now we're in the seller zone. That is different. Are we together? So now that we are here, now we got to put some more stuff in place. Now you got to say, okay, I have to put a resistance level in place to give me more follow through for my buy, a resistance level for more follow through. If price closes above every time these resistance areas, that's in accordance with the pivot point. See how you got to merge these things together. That's the vertical line. Yes, just the vertical line. Ari, you got to put these things together and say, okay, there's a resistance. Price has moved up. It's gone past finish line and above the resistance there. Okay, so now we're approaching this box. If we break this box here, we are in the buying zone over the cross line, over the line of crossing, on the crossing line, and we above. The next area is there. Does it make sense? But we have to expect movement still. Price can still do this. Does that make sense, everybody? Price can still do this. Please do not be fooled just because price is up, finish line, resistance, and now we push. Price moves in waves. All right, it moves in waves. Is everybody with me there, guys? I'm pausing there for 14 seconds. This is some good stuff here. You better go back to YouTube and go and check this out. All right, everybody. It needs to break. And there's that one word. There's that one word that everybody falls short of in life. Can someone please give me the wisdom there? What is that one word that everybody makes a mistake on? Everybody makes that mistake. No one is prone or immune to that. That one word, the one word, for that to pan out, it is called patience. Give Fanny a round of applause there, man. Come on. All right. Patience. If you do not have patience, it's impossible. Is everybody with me here, guys? So at this point in time, we are waiting for this box to be violated. We have follow through on our northern hemisphere. We've crossed the finish line on top. We've broken that resistance. Beautiful. But we need some more barriers to be broken. That's the last one now. And then we look for this specific short, long. All right. Everybody with me here? Because now that you're with me on the hourly, I want to go and quickly, a couple of minutes away from closing off, but I want to use the time to answer Siyabonga because we have a different kind of trader in everyone. You spoke about a minute frame. Everybody can see where we are, right? What is the upside or what is the movement of price? We are currently trending up, right? So guess what? Siyabonga, on a minute frame, now you look for a shorter time frame. Let's maybe say you use the minute as an example. Let's just use the minute as an example. Now, on this one, you can see we are trading the upside of the hourly, all right, in a minute structure. You see that. But here's the challenge. Do you see any lower highs here? Do you see any lower highs here? Do you see the problem now with drawing it on a minute frame if you haven't got the data yet? Do you see that, everybody? So there's no data for us to use. Are we together? Can you do this from there to there? Yes, you can. But guys, what validates that price is moving down? There must be at least 2 or 3 touches. Remember that. There's another thing there for you to remember. Do you see all these things coming together? So there must be at least 2 or 3 touches to validate that that is a resistance. A lower high is a resistance. Does that make sense, everybody? It's not respecting exactly, it's not respecting the structure yet. All right, it's not respecting it. So that's why the hourly makes more sense, because there's respect there. Is everybody clear with that, guys? What do you do with people that don't respect you? just think about, what do you do with people that don't respect you? Do you give them any time of day? Do you pay attention to them? You don't. Same concept. You don't pay attention to price if it doesn't respect that area. You don't. I don't know about the smack though, Uncle Sean, you know. I just stay away, I just avoid, or you just block, just block and it's finished. Yeah? Everybody with me? Everybody with me? Have a lekker one, Cheryl. Guys, any value? Did you guys get any value here today, guys? It was absolutely splendid. Did you guys learn something here this morning, guys, in terms of technique, in terms of approach, in terms of price action, the movement, the structure? Was there clarity? All right. A lot of value, yeah? All right, so guys, remember, when we do get back at 4 p.m., we'll be looking at those shares that we had looked at. I can, if you guys would like, let's just quickly go through the CAD JPY and see if there was any movement there. This was something brought up, Uncle Sean. I believe you brought this up. There's a lack of follow through here, but we still at the 103 area. We still at the 103 area here, guys. But there's really a lack of follow through here. Is anyone interested in the short here, though? It's 74 pips. The only challenge is if you short it after that spike there, from there to there is only 60 pips, guys. So it might not be worth it. Let's maybe just track this one. All right. Can we just track this one? Is that fine? CAD JPY. Lower time frame. Yes, we can. But you see here, see this here. So, Uncle Sean, and then there's a wick there. See, now we need to go into even shorter time frame now. All right. And that's the challenge. If you now go to even shorter time frame, that's a candle. Are we together? And so that then presents another problem. This presents another problem. Now you're going to make less pips. So essentially what we would like, keeping that in mind, Uncle Sean, keep this one in mind, 104.31. Okay. If a 4-hour candle or a 3-hour candle closes beneath there, that would be okay. All right. But for now, let's track it. So check it out at 4 p.m., not 4 p.m., 12, all right, and see what happens. AUD CAD, guys, this the daily candle is not closed beneath there. There's no 12-hour candle beneath there. Please be careful if you're going to go into a short here. All right, the momentum at this point, you can see the rejection. It is only 1103 right now. Anything can still happen. We can still reject and go up. So if you go in for the short on 1-hour frame as an example, look at that resistance levels there. All right, resistance meaning there's support that's strong. So these wicks here, price can come down and reject again. So you'd essentially need for price to push below these zones here. See that area there? Just be careful here. Please, please, please. Right. Hold on for me here. This one, nothing here, 1.38281. let's just wait for it. It's rejecting still. I don't see any downside at this point in time. For now. I still see a bit of upside here. We're gonna have to wait, okay? NZD CAD, also check this out, nothing running there. We looked at CAD CHF, still at the support, indecisive, accumulating. Look at that. All right, so let's wait with this one as well. Okay. Euro GBP. This was yesterday. We said that there could be a possible short. There could be a possible short here. Very interesting. Let's wait and see how it performs here. Okay. Let's go to GBP CAD as well. We're just looking at this point in time here. I'll tell you guys when it's really cool, but right now we're still rejecting. We can find a level maybe later on. For now, let's see how it performs. And then GBP CAD. Where is my friend? There we go. Oh, GBP CAD. Hey, this is a very interesting one, you guys. Above 1.558, going up to this box here. Let's not get in now. So where is, someone asked me about Mr. H, remember the question about the stop loss, remember that? Remember that? So here's another example. So that's me modifying it now, you see that? You see that? Was it Angel? Was it Vuyo? Someone asked about that, and I said to you, breaking even. There's the entry. All right, very nice entry. And that's me now locking it in. Anne-Marie, there we go. Thank you, Anne-Marie. That's the locking in there. Can you see that? Now I can do that, but I still see the 1.59. So I'd rather put it there, just in case. You see that? And I've locked in that. So I'm more than breaking even here. Everybody clear? Everybody clear, guys? All right. Guys, thank you very much. You guys are fantastic. Thank you very much for the appreciation, the respect. It goes both ways. That's why this thing is pushing and why we're so passionate about what we're doing, because you guys are really adding so much value just by your response rate. The response rate is incredible, guys, by the way. We don't need to wait like a minute for people to say something. This is what makes a trading room, the response rate from people. And the fact that it's ongoing. We have more than 200, 300 messages here. More than that, every single session that I have with you guys on this chat, it's busy. If we could give 5 Rand for each message, we'll give everybody a balance in their account. If we got paid 5 or 10 Rand per message, it would be insane. So I see that from a monetary perspective. I see a lot of things like that, you know, responses, and I look at it and I see the money there. And so we would be making a lot of cash here because it is so open. All right, everybody's asking questions, there's jokes, there's and that's the way to do this thing. Is everybody clear there? That's how we keep this thing running. All right. And at the end of the day, in closing, guys, in closing, the best way that you'll always enjoy something is if there is learning involved. If there's no learning, you're going to walk away. It's human nature. If you can't multiply on something, become fruitful on something, all right, subdue it, you're going to walk away. All right. And the great thing about this is that everybody's learning and guys are fine-tuning themselves as well. All right, Mr. H, all right, Petro, all the guys, all the regular guys, everyone, you guys are fine-tuning it because you're hearing it over and over and over, and that makes a big difference. All right. that makes a very big difference, because we are creatures by cycle behavior or cyclical behavior, and we repeat things. All right, everybody. So let's push. I'll see you guys at 4 p.m. And we're going to see how the US markets open. We will recheck a few of these guys as well. And then we'll look at new ones. The market is consolidating. It's Thursday. Things are slowing down. It doesn't mean that there won't be any movement. But for now, there's nothing crazy that's sticking out that says, let's jump in there. All right, everybody. So we'll see at 4 if there is any change, and then we push forward with that change. All right, everybody cool? Have a lekker one. Have a good late morning, good early afternoon. Don't forget the H2O. Remember your candles for tonight. If you have any load shedding, if you're not joining me at 4 p.m. or your inverter or your touch lights, whatever it is that you got going on there. Don't forget to feed the dogs. Get all of the priorities off the list. And then in conclusion, guys, to enjoy your specific day, find that one thing that you can measure it on. I can say this to you without a shadow of a doubt. Mika, my wife, asked me this specific question, asked me, Ash, how do you know you've enjoyed your day? Because everybody stresses about the future. Ari, all right, what will I be next year? What will I be 5 years from now? And I say to her, I keep it day by day in my plan, and this is my measurement. As long as I have made progress in a specific area, I've enjoyed my day. There must be progress. That's my barometer. That's my personal measurement stick. If I've made progress in writing a proposal, in doing chores, whatever, if I've seen progress for the day, I conclude that as I've been fruitful. Do you see that? Not having to buy, I didn't buy my car yet. I didn't buy the suit. Those are all surface level stuff. Progress is important, and you got to put it back with trading, all right? As long as you've learned at least one thing today that you can say, yes, man, I've made progress today. Just by seeing that, cheapers, I've made progress. That's it. If you can do that consistently every day, power. All right. Every day, just that. Power. All right. Have a lekker one. I'll see you guys at 4 p.m. Ciao, ciao, guys.